Welcome to GOS Media. I'm Josiah Kim. We've all heard the phrase, work smart, not hard. For an example, why dig a well with a shovel when you have a backhoe at the ready? Caution here, working smart does not negate hard work. You will still get hot, dirty, and tired by using a backhoe, but you will avoid blisters and a bad back. Now that's smart. Working smart also doesn't mean being lazy, taking shortcuts, or doing things haphazardly. It's not about using cheap products or labor looking to save money. Working smart is about providing a superior service or product in the most salient, safe, and streamlined manner possible. So, how then do we work smart? Glad you asked. To help answer that question, we're going to use the acronym of SMART. SMART. Get it? Work smart with smart? Okay, I'll move on. Earlier, we mentioned digging a hole, so we will use that as our example. Just remember, you can apply this model and criteria to the smallest and largest of projects. S is for strategy. If there is work to be done, there are probably several different ways to accomplish it. There are also several different ways to get it wrong. To narrow down our options for getting it done correctly, we need to identify a few variables important to the project. Things such as, where is the hole to be dug? Is there a timetable to consider? What is the composition of the ground we will be opening up? Is it clay base, sand, granite? What type of equipment and how many personnel are needed to accomplish the task? Are there any dangers we need to look out for? Knowing a few basic facts allows us to develop our strategy to complete the project as quickly, safely, and professionally as possible. M is for measurable. Without measurables, we might dig a skinny hole all the way to China, or a shallow hole across all of America. Measurables give us the parameters for identifying when we are finished, how well we did the job, and that we did indeed dig a proper hole according to the desired outcome. Measurables also help us establish workflow by determining who gets what, when, and where. It also helps us to know how much to charge so we make money instead of losing money on the project. Measurables should be reasonable, easy to comprehend, and obtainable. Work can be slowed or even abandoned if cost, speed, and quality measurables are overly complicated. A is for actionable. Holes don't dig themselves. So after we have a strategy for digging and measurables to know what kind of hole to dig, we now have to take action. This is not when we start to dig, but it's where we create the infrastructure for digging. Personnel are identified, and if any screening is required, these are initiated. Background screens might include criminal checks, but it can also include educational requirements, specialized training needed, and past employment references. Equipment needs are also identified and ordered. Training and orientation on the equipment begins at this stage as well. Actionable items also include obtaining any insurances, licenses, permits, and fees to be obtained and paid. R is for resourcing. Without resources, a goal is but a pipe dream. Having the infrastructure in place and having a strategy including measurables, it's time to onboard and acquire all the resources needed in terms of both personnel and materials. Here is when we make actual purchases of equipment and supplies, making every effort to not overpurchase or underpurchase. Once acquired, we also make certain equipment works properly and safely, and supplies are appropriate and whole. It is also the time staff and workers arrive and gear up for the work. Admin functions, safety briefings, task assignment, and orientation are completed. T is for time. Time is money, and money is time. If that be true, then there is no time to waste. Everybody involved in the project needs to know the timeframes that were established way back in the strategy phase. Most projects have a date, day, and sometimes even a time of day the project needs to be completed. To hit that completion time, pace of work must be established. The pace must not be too fast or there could be shoddy work, injury, or even death. Too slow, licenses and fees may expire, penalties may be charged, and weather may become a problem. There you have it. To work smart, use smart, and you'll maximize your probability of success, satisfaction, and profits, while minimizing failure, injury, and lawsuits. But wait, we hear you barking, big dog. Yeah, GOS media, all that smart stuff is fine for drilling an oil well. All I want to do is put a fire pit in my backyard. Okay, let's think that through. Strategy. Where exactly in the backyard are you going to put the fire pit? Are you going to install gas or use wood to fire your pit? Will you use concrete around it or granite? Measurables. What size of fire pit do you want? How far away from your wooden privacy fence should your pit be? How deep are you going to dig? Actionable. Do you need permits to put a fire generating device in your backyard? Do utility companies need to come out before you dig or maybe determine if your fire pit sits on a gas line? Are your homeowner's insurance rates affected by the pit? Resourcing. Are you installing the pit yourself or are you hiring help? Are you hiring friends or professionals? Does the pit you desire within your budget and agreed to with your spouse? Time. Trying to install that fire pit before the ground freezes? Got a time-sensitive permit? Big game coming up and want to watch at the fire pit? So yes, smart is relevant and appropriate no matter the size of your project. There are some who say the SMART model is complicated and takes too much time. Yes, exactly. It is designed to slow down the start time. Ever heard the phrase, measure twice, cut once? Is it a waste of time to measure twice? Not when you have to go back and recut because you mismeasured the first time. And by the way, if you have to recut, you also have to remeasure anyway. Doing things the smart way reduces time on project, keeps people safe, and prevents unnecessary expenses. When questioning if you want to use the SMART system or just get her done, remember today's grain of sugar. Work hard and you'll have good rewards. Work smart and you'll have great rewards. Colony, you guys are the smartest folks we know. Got a story where working smart saved your project? Or maybe a time you wished you'd worked smart? Tell us about it in the comments below. Your experience will encourage others to become smart folks like you. If you'd like to see us continue, then we'd appreciate your support. The easiest way to do so is to simply like, subscribe, and share GOS with others. Or become a Colony member by joining us on Patreon or snatch up some merch from our website. Links are pinned below. Once again, thanks for tuning in to Grains of Sugar. I've been your host, Josiah Kim.